I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here? Woohoo! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Friday to you, wherever you are in the world today. If we haven't met yet, my name is Ingor, and I am recognized as a networking ninja. I'm hired by entrepreneurs to help them develop a strategy on LinkedIn so that they can stand out and connect with their ideal community. If you don't know anything about the principle of Ubuntu, allow me to introduce you to it. I am Inga. I love Ubuntu. And it originates from my country of origin, which is South Africa. So, what is Ubuntu? Ubuntu is an ancient African word, and it means humanity to others. It's often described as reminding us that I am what I am because of who we all are. So, without further ado, I'd love to introduce you to my wonderful guest, somebody that I met a while back, and I've called him my fire starter. He has really propelled me into the world of LinkedIn, and I'm so grateful to him. Welcome to you, Robert Johnson.
I was looking for this person you were talking about. So, what's happening this morning?
Good morning. Nice to see you. Thank you
Nice
for
to see
being
you.
here. Thank you.
Well, wow, it has been a year, a little over a year, maybe right at a year,
Yeah.
since I was on this the first time, and a lot has changed for both of us, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, a bit of an understatement. Yeah, the king of understatements.
Yes, a lot has changed. But before we get into that, won't you
Mhm.
please introduce yourself to our audience and let them know who you are, what you do, please?
Okay, I'm Robert Johnson. I am the Vice President of Building Business Development with Torrey Contracting. And primarily, we are a manufacturer of light gauge steel wall panels and trusses. We build multifamily, hotel, hospitality, student housing, any mid level, mid rise buildings, 4 to 7 stories. Just that's what I do for a real paying job. And then I do, of course, I network like crazy. I've got a newsletter that I started this past year called Change Maker that just talks about change and making change. I went through a real dark period in my life where change was absolutely necessary and vital. So I just touch a little bit on that, and wow, what else? So yeah, I have a podcast that I co-host with JJ Levinsky called Mac and Blue. You can find us at macandblue.com. Um, yeah, just a lot of
And
fun stuff.
and that's Blue EU, not
That
you.
is correct. BLEU. Very good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and say hello to everyone in the comments because I'm all about Ubuntu and my community.
Oh, I love it. I love, and you are the master of it. I've tried this. We do LinkedIn Live for our podcast as well.
Yeah.
I don't even touch this. There's no way I could do all the comments and talk, and I just forget it. You're the best.
I love it. I just love to be able to acknowledge everyone and see them in the comments. So
Sure.
let's go and say hello to you, Gail Robertson. She
I
said,
connected with her this morning.
yes, Gail is awesome. She's my friend and my client. We work together. So Gail says she's just tagging in a few people. So nice to have you here. Thank you, Gail. And my friend, this is Jonathan McDonald. He is a previous guest. He is also one of the founders of Social Me Too, where people come together and share their horror stories of social media.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
yes, it happens, and it shouldn't be the elephant in the room. We need to address it
Sure.
so that I think primarily women are targeted by this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so we need to, I think we need to just normalize talking about it because a lot of us are ashamed that this is happening to
Oh,
us.
so I'm going to jump in here. Since we're on this subject, Jonathan, thank you for being the introduction to this subject today. You mentioned that I think it does primarily happen to women. Absolutely agree. But I'll tell you one that I see that's happening right now, and that is, and I won't call it an attack,
Oh,
but I'll call it negativity toward people that post positivity. Have you seen this?
yeah,
There are a lot of people that are just like, oh, I don't, if you post that this is a glorious day and you're happy and this is what you do to get happy, I'm going to unfollow you. We're not going to be connected anymore. And yet they call it, this is what I think is funny. They call us being positive. You are also one of these that touts positivity and the importance of it.
yeah,
And they tout it as a shtick. They say it's our shtick. We really can't be that way. Yet their shtick is to be negative about everything and
yeah.
talk about how if you're on LinkedIn, you should only talk about business and business period. And I just it's ridiculous. I've gotten to the place where now I think it's funny, so I'll engage with those people just because I think it's funny. It's a real thing. You know it's real. I know it's real. It's a part of what makes us what we are in our personal lives as well as our business lives, and it flows into our business lives. So, anyway, thanks, Jonathan. That was a great little rabbit to chase.
I have to just answer what you said there, where people say, you can't really be this way. Who has time to pretend one thing and then be someone else later on? Like, what?
Yeah, it really
No.
it defies logic. I do not understand how people think that the way that we post, the things that we say, the way that we look, the things we talk about can be to gain followers. I will readily tell you that majority of my posts on LinkedIn are about positivity, they're about mindset, they're about because for the most part people don't care on LinkedIn. They don't care. I don't take this wrong. Hear me all the way through. They don't care about what you do for a living. Okay? That
Yes.
network of people that cares about what you do for a living and that does the same thing is very, very, very small
Yeah.
compared to the reach that you have with LinkedIn and with networking. So I primarily post, and I started it not as just stick. I started it because of the dark period of life that I went through, and as a way to start my day with positive affirmations and being positive and getting the mind right. And after doing that for a certain length of time, it just that is my routine.
Yeah.
That's what I do. If those that follow me on LinkedIn will see that I have worked in a lot more recently, business, podcast, change
Yeah.
maker newsletters. I've done these things. But I start my day every day. First post I make is about positivity and about mindset because it's absolutely who we are.
Yes. And it's good to share that with others because there are other people that are going through dark times,
Absolutely.
and why not? why not share that? So
Yeah.
thank you, Jonathan, for that segue.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yes, nice to see you
The
here.
best guest, no guest ever.
And hello to you, Prachi. I know you're tuning in from India. Nice to see you here. Wow. And here's my
Hey,
awesome friend,
Russ.
Russ. Nice to see you, Russ. Thank you for being here. It was my privilege to be on Russ's show last night.
I saw
Russ
that.
really,
Yeah.
yeah, it was really a really good conversation actually. So if you've missed it, you can go ahead and catch the replay. Just go through my post and you'll see I posted about it yesterday morning.
So I'm going to jump in here. We'll let Russ go ahead. That's fine. But the fire starter, yeah. Look at this hair. Isn't this beautiful hair? This red. And talking about fire starter, um,
Right?
exactly. Um, so seeing Russ and talking about what you do with Russ, and it's a lot. You do a lot, and you speak on a lot of groups, not only with Russ but with others. Do you remember your first time in Clubhouse? What isn't that the? Wasn't that the? What's the app? Wasn't it
Yes.
Clubhouse?
Clubhouse, yes.
That, and I don't even know if we're allowed to say that anymore because it's clearly not a thing. But yeah, I had been on it, and you said something about wanting to be on, but you were nervous about it at the time. You came into a group, I introduced you into the room. Uh, wow, I mean that's a long time ago.
Yeah, I actually went on to moderate Clubhouse rooms after that.
Awesome. Yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
lost interest. That's
Yes.
unfortunate. I think it was a neat forum.
Yes.
And I think it's going to come back in some shape or form. Maybe not
Well,
as that, but
do you know that LinkedIn Live has audio rooms now?
I
So
do.
yeah. So that I think, LinkedIn is obviously trying to keep everything native and I
Sure.
totally understand that. So yeah, I still haven't Um, I actually spoke about this maybe 2 weeks ago. I was talking to somebody and I said, maybe I need to change my show to an audio room since I hate video so much.
But you do so well. And you have to admit that you get past the fear and it becomes fun.
Yeah, it's because of what you focus on, right? So for
Sure.
me, I'm focusing on you and my audience.
And
But
you know what? That I think when you see a successful LinkedIn Live or a successful podcast, I think that's really the ones that are most successful are the ones that aren't out to focus. There's a lot of podcasts and a lot of LinkedIn Lives that are ego driven, that are all about me. Hey, I'm on LinkedIn Live and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to talk about me for 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever.
uh-huh.
There's a time and a place for that. But I think those that are the most successful are the ones that have utilize these forums to focus on others,
Yes.
to not necessarily talk about yourself, but to talk about what they do. And what happens is in the process of that, you're talking about what you do, and people learn about you. The people
Yeah.
that follow me are connected with me, learn about you, and vice versa. It's a magical thing. People really should um, you drill into being more about others than more than self.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
We can't do this about everybody that you talk about here, but yeah, it makes me think of things.
Yes, right. So, good morning to you, Katie McDermott. She says, "Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. So excited to be here every Friday. FYI, I connect buyers and sellers in the industrial world." Um,
And the other thing is, this woman has more energy than I think anybody I've ever seen. I mean, you can have her on your program at 4 in the morning, and she's going to be pinging off the walls. Yeah. So yeah,
yes,
thanks, Katie.
Katie, I think is it the coffee?
Yeah, yeah. We'll call it the coffee.
We actually, she has an, how do I call this? So, I'm known as the networking ninja,
Mhm.
and Katie is known.
Ninjas are very secretive, by the way. You do understand that.
Yes. I can't give away all my secrets, Robert. I'm in stealth mode.
Exactly.
But Katie is the manufacturing hype girl. and she does a really good job of hyping up manufacturing. So she made me realize that actually there is a place for me in manufacturing too.
Oh, that's very interesting. We'll have to talk about that because I'd love to hear more about how and why. But yeah.
Yes, definitely we can talk about that. And anyone who is interested to leave their story regarding social media too, please click on the link in on LinkedIn and get your story out there. Robert, is this you?
No, no, that's usually the kind of stuff that I post, though, isn't
Yes.
it? I'm usually watching and I'll post something. You'll go, I think this is
Yeah.
Robert. No, that one is not me, but
Okay.
that that could be me in stealth mode.
Yes, but this could be. I think it could be Jamie. Jamie, let me know if it's you, please. He's another amazing connection. And of course, Katie is saying hello to you, Robert.
Yes. Good morning.
And Russ says good morning to you as well. Uh, ooh, Gail says, hello, Robert. So happy we are now connected as well. Ingor has indeed grown and now helping people in manufacturing on this platform. There's definitely so much potential and opportunity when you invest in it.
So this is a great example. I'll speak for Gail here because she's just an avatar in the corner. But um, Gail and I have seen each other on social media,
Yes.
be it whether it be speaking with you, um, whatever, or you commenting on, and we just for some reason never connected on LinkedIn. And she reached out this morning, and I was a little embarrassed. It was like, Robert, why are we not connected? So uh, we connected, but that's what this is all about. You are the networking ninja, and look at it. Look at this right here is an example of your ninja magic happening the morning that I'm on your show.
I love it. I love to see that. And I always say this, but if you don't know, if you are watching this show and you're commenting, connect with others that are in the audience as well.
Oh, great point.
You are honestly, um, I love to see everyone connecting and just drawing from that, drawing from one another, right? So awesome, awesome. Oh, hello to you, Ali. Thank you for tuning in. Good to see you. LinkedIn user. Is this Jamie? Please confirm. I'm going to scroll down and see if
I
it
don't
is.
know. So this is a person saying my name with exclamation points. So it makes me think it's somebody that knows me. Now,
Yes.
I don't know that, but I love the anonymous comments. I
Yes.
they can be anybody. Let's make them whoever. This could be Gary V. Anyway, I'm just saying. I don't know. Let's make it interesting.
Speaking of Gary Vee, do you want to share what happened with you and him?
Yeah, it was interesting. Out of the blue. Now, I think we all understand Gary V for what Gary V is. He's a very busy man, very successful man. But one of the things that I do um, that has helped grow my network and connect me to some really neat people is I will find those people that get a lot of engagement on LinkedIn, and I will like their comments. This is one of the things that I told you in our very first conversation was,
Yes.
listen, I'll go in and I'll like 400, 500 comments a day, just going through liking comments. Well, those people will reach out, hey, you liked my comment, thank you. So you've seen what happens.
Yes.
Um, I get this invite. I get this, invite on LinkedIn to be a connection of Gary Vee, and I'm like, wait, no, this has got to be a fake. This is a fake Gary Vee. This is funny. I laughed, haha. It was a real thing. I listen. I know he's got over 30,000 followers, so it was quite interesting. But yeah, that's been some time ago. We don't interact on LinkedIn, but yeah, it was an interesting time.
That's pretty cool, actually. And,
Yeah,
especially for us who know who he is.
yeah.
Good morning to you, Laura. Thank you for tuning in. Nice to see you here. Um, and hello to you, Nicholas. He says he's tuning in from Thika, Kenya.
I
So,
love the fact that we can have a conversation. Think about this, that we can have a conversation about anything, especially networking,
yeah.
and we get people that are all over the world. It's astounding to think. People say, "Oh, you can't get your reach is horrible. Oh, this is oh, really? Here's a great example of what the reach is really like." You
Yeah.
know, who would
Yeah.
have thought you'd wake up this morning and you're going to talk to hundreds of people, maybe thousands of people all over the world? Yeah,
It's awesome to see. And if you're watching, please drop us a comment and let us know where you're tuning in from. Katie says, "Is it possible that I'm the only one that cares about what I do for work?" Great call, Robert Johnson.
it's possible, I guess. Yeah,
Good morning to you, Charlene Brown. Thank you for being here. Nice to see you. Just want to shout out the individuals that are here. Oh,
sure.
good morning to you, Whitney. Thank you for being here. I know this is so amazing. I love to say where she's from. She's from Sugar Land, Texas.
Sure, it's a great place. I know it well. Yeah.
I never knew about this place before I met her. So nice to see you, Whitney. And then, and oh, belated happy birthday. It was her birthday last week, Friday. So good morning to you, John, tuning in from New Jersey. Nice to see you. Oh, I'm not okay. I think those are all the individuals that are here. So,
Cool. Let me ask you something. I'm going to turn the tables on you. It's been a year. What has changed with what you're doing? And I mean, we really don't have the time. We could take up because I see you're involved with this group and these people. And what's been going on with you over the last year?
wow. Um, I
Yeah,
think
I got you, didn't I?
yeah, because you're not supposed to be asking
No, 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 no. This is good.
What's changed for me is I've really grown my brand.
Hmm.
Um, I I made a shift from really doing a lot of admin work to now coaching, networking, and LinkedIn more.
You know, you would think that we talked about this ahead of time because that's exactly why I asked you the question. When we talked a year ago, it was about admin work and it was about that. And you made this transition throughout the year so
Yeah.
beautifully from I'm going to help you with your admin to I'm going to tell you how to hire a good admin. I mean, it was, it was brilliance, and you've done it very well. But please go on. I That's exactly why I asked.
Thank you. Yes, I think yeah, I actually made the shift from being, I am the CEO and founder of We Got This Admin.
Hmm.
Yes. That is my background. I come from an EA background, but I also come from a teaching background, and I haven't really shared that on
Teaching
LinkedIn. Yeah, I was a lecturer at a college in South Africa before I came here. So
the things we learn here.
yes, yes, but I don't know. I gravitated towards admin because I've always been good at it, and I've done it.
Hmm.
I did it straight out of university,
Hmm.
um, and then I transitioned a little bit over to being a lecturer, and I lectured a huge variety of people. It was amazing. It was a beautiful time in my life, really, and
Teaching is very fun, but it is.
it's
I've done it as well myself, and I can tell you that it is one of the hardest jobs that you will ever have. I don't care who you are, I don't care what you've done, construction, whatever. It is an emotionally taxing job.
It is because I was everything to my students. If they needed counseling, if they needed somebody just to chat with, if they needed a friend, and I made myself available to
Hmm.
them. just because that's who I am. And
Mhm.
I love people. Um, but yeah, it was something that I did leading up to coming to Canada, and then when I came here, um, I knew that I needed to shift my focus, and so I went into the admin world. But yeah, it's something that I love to do, and you know what I love to see is when somebody truly grasps the concept that you're teaching them.
When they get it, when the light
Yeah,
comes
it's
on,
like
it's like yeah, it's the greatest reward, especially if that individual happens to be someone who has struggled with the information, and
yeah,
then all of a sudden it's like, "Okay, wow, it was really that easy all along and I didn't get it." That
yeah,
really is one of the most rewarding moments. That's
yes,
why you do it.
yes, that is why I do it. And
Mhm,
I will tell you about this one. There was one time when I actually experienced this in my home, because my daughter, my middle daughter, is left-handed,
mhm,
and so she's also left-brained. So she doesn't fall into the traditional sense of learning.
mhm.
And I remember, you know, she had a very traditional teacher, and even the one before that. So when she couldn't understand fractions, and I remember
Who
saying,
does? Come on.
right?
Anyway.
And but the thing is, like, I'm a very traditional thinker, and I love math, and I just couldn't understand why. And then I read up on this, and I realized why it was that she was the way that she was. And because I couldn't understand. The reason I couldn't understand is because she couldn't grasp the concept, but I know she's smart and she's witty. So in any case, I taught her fractions by actually taking an orange and cutting it in half,
Great idea.
and then showing her. And so just the 3D concept of it was able to really convey and drive the point home. So I saw that and I was like, oh yes, this is amazing. And I think Whitney can totally relate because she was a teacher as well. um, so Robert, we
Mhm.
spoke a little bit about me, what's
Yes.
happened with me. So what's happened with you over the last year? I know there's been quite a few changes.
Yeah, well, I was previously with a great organization called Mac Prefab, that did the same thing basically that I'm doing with Tory Contracting, from a business perspective, and that is the manufacturing of light gauge steel components, building components. Um, I was introduced to and found these guys, where I'm at now, guys and gals at Tory Contracting, um, parent company Forte, Luxury Builders or Design Build, and so I made that change in my business life, and for what I do on my day to day job, and really what consumes me most of the time. I know you find people find that hard to believe if you see all the little different things that I dabble in. Um, and I'm a rabbit chaser, so I'm gonna chase this rabbit while I'm thinking about it. But it pertains to what I've been doing and how I am. I do think that there is some merit to focus on one thing and put that focus forward on for your branding purposes. Um, however, I'm not doing the things that I'm doing to build. I guess not necessarily to build a brand, but to build a business at this point. I'm doing things and building individual brands that speak to me, that are things that are important to me. And so be it. If I only get, I've got, I think my newsletter's up to almost 16,000
Wow.
subscribers, and I haven't done much with it except just talk about. And for those that haven't seen it, it's Changemaker. It's a weekly newsletter that this today will I missed last week, for various reasons, but that I do. I'll speak a little bit. You'll see a little bit of writing, and then I just me having a little conversation about change, in a video perspective. And it's gotten some really. I leave a telephone number. There's a number there you can reach out to me. You can text me. I have people that every week I'll get one, and it's like I'm just checking to see if this is a bot, if I'm going to get some automated reply. And I'm like, nope, it's really me. The very first here's this is why I do it. Now, the change maker piece. We're talking about what all has happened and changed over the last year. This is one of them. When I started thinking about this, right after my first newsletter, and in my first newsletter, and every subsequent newsletter has shown the 7 steps, or what I call the 7 steps to get through change. People have different ways. They'll have 9 steps, 10 steps, 2 steps, one. Some have 1 step. They just decide to make a change and they change. Most people aren't that way. But I sent out the first newsletter, and I want to say within maybe a day, I got a text from a man who was in the throes of addiction,
Wow.
both alcohol and substance, just any kind of prescription drugs or anything,
Wow.
and to the point that it was destroying his career, his family, the whole thing. Um, and we started up a conversation. Um, I, he happened to live in Arizona, live in the Phoenix area,
Wow.
and was able to get himself into some rehab and start making some changes.
Wow.
That's why I was like, well, why wouldn't I just continue doing this if that's what I get? If I only get one of those a year, it's been amazing. So Changemaker was one of them. The job change was one of them. I think since the last time I was on with you, I put an ebook together on Amazon. It was basically all of the posts that I post every morning. It was just the stuff that I post.
Wow.
Um, it's still selling. Believe it or not, it's not a bestseller, and you're not going to see it when you go into a Barnes and Noble or Amazon right on the front page. But it was fun, and I can do it better now. Will do it better. I did it because I needed to do it for the first time somewhere with something. I would encourage anybody that has a creative side at all to do something like that, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Who cares if people don't like it? Okay,
Right?
yeah, I mean, it really doesn't matter.
It does.
Um, and then, Mac and Blue. Mac and Blue has probably been the thing that's been the most fun for me. I found well, I had known JJ. JJ is my co-host, and JJ Levinsky is a general contractor of Blue Wave General Contracting, thus the blue in Mac and Blue. And I had met him once before. This was a very, very interesting way that this came about. When you talk about things being meant to be, and people coming into your lives at certain times for certain reasons, this was one of those things.
Yes.
And I was on Phoenix Business Radio podcast. I had been invited on, was on and talked about what I do, light gauge steel framing, building components, manufacturing, things of that nature.
Mm.
And he had been on another program also on Phoenix Business Radio. And I decided I had looked into, I had really thought about doing a podcast, and really got very close to pulling the trigger on one, and then just backed out. There's some really great LinkedIn folks, Billy,
Small.
Celebi, yeah, that you seen, yeah. Billy, Lorena Acosta has, she was like, yeah, do it. You got a great voice. But I backed out. And then I was on, and then I decided, you know what? I'm going to reach out to this guy because I've got this idea. We could do something together. And I did. And he was like, oh my God, yeah, I would love to. So we went and had this exploratory meeting with these folks. And in the exploratory meeting, it was goosebumps the whole time, because it was, we would say something and the other would say something. It was like we were reading each other's minds.
Wow.
And the podcast focuses on those people who build Arizona, specifically economic development, contractors, supply chain, um, you name it. This on next Mondays we have a couple of folks from the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Reservation, from the Indian community, who is a very large Native American force in Arizona, and especially in the Phoenix metro. So there's been some amazing people on, and we went from doing it twice a month to now doing it every Monday. So it's a blast. Yeah, that's kind of it. I could have taken up an entire hour just saying what's changed in the last.
But that's awesome. That is awesome. You know, I actually, in the way that I coach now,
Mhm.
I have 3 steps that I highlight. And so the first one is connect. Then,
Duh. Yeah.
yeah, then communicate, and then
Mhm.
collaborate.
Mhm. Well, there it was. That's exactly what that was.
You know, I don't know if you know this, but for 2022, my focus word is collaboration.
Oh, it is so powerful at every single level that you do it. The collaboration that you're doing with being on these panels, that's collaboration.
Yeah,
The conversations that go on behind the scenes to prepare for those panels and after those panels is collaboration.
yeah,
Um, there is power in, there's a scripture, and it's I hate this when I think of something, but what is it that the scripture about? Oh my goodness, something about an angel. How many put angels this to flight, and talks about basically the things that we can do by ourselves can be done so much better with others. You find somebody that's a member of your tribe, and then you work with those people. That's collaboration, and it's very, very liberating
yeah.
and very, very exciting, and can be very profitable.
Yes, it can be, and not necessarily profit in terms of money, because I choose to focus on impact.
Yep.
And one of my favorite quotes is actually by Kevin Cruz. I'm gonna look to see if I should have it here, and I want to share it with you. Kevin Cruz, and he speaks about impact over income. Here we go. Life is about making an impact, not an income. This is Kevin Cruz. But yeah, for me, it's about impact. What kind of impact am I able to make? How can I help you? I have a friend, his name is Russ Johns, and he speaks about helping more people help more people.
What's interesting, I reached out to Russ just this week. I didn't realize that he's in Sun City, which is where we live. We're probably 20 minutes or 30 minutes apart from each other. Yeah.
Oh, so you're gonna have an in-person meeting? I'll be so jealous.
Yeah, I did. I reached out to him and I said, I didn't realize you were in Sun City. We've been connected for a long time. I see his stuff, and then I was like, wow, I didn't realize he was there. I reached out, then I saw that he was on this panel last night with you. So it's really very cool. So
Yes.
while we're doing this, I'm doing my version of multitasking. Uh, yeah,
Let's go to the comments and just
do it.
acknowledge some people while you're doing that.
No, that was fine. I'm just looking.
Here we go. Um, oh, they're asking for my goat. Hold on before I say. Okay, here we go. Let's say. Katie says she loves manufacturing and she's including some bombs. Oh my word. Um, and Katie says next time, let's just say the LinkedIn user is Gertie the goat. Okay, yeah, this is Gertie the goat.
Uh huh.
And have you heard Gertie scream already? Gail hates it, but Gail,
Oh, so yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the video, which I think is hilarious. Yeah, I think that's wonderful.
So Gertie helps to make me feel better sometimes if I'm having a frustrating day. Oh my gosh. And let's see. Okay, Whitney says thank you. And Laura, Whitney, I'm not sure if you've seen this, I'm just highlighting it for you.
Mhm,
Laura says that she is in
mhm.
Dallas area, Cedar Hill. And Chrislyn says good morning. Chrislyn, it's afternoon for you, but good morning from us. Thank you for being here. Um, Chrislyn is in South Africa, in Cape Town, South Africa. John, yes, John, you and I need to have a conversation so I can hear about your vacation that you had. Let's chat soon, please. And here, Whitney says, preach, Robert. Teaching is a demanding profession.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of teaching, you know what I want you to teach me? I want you to teach me the language of South Africa.
Oh, that'll be a very difficult
Oh,
task because South Africa has 11 official languages.
you have to teach them all.
Oh,
So, no, I'm kidding. But I would love to speak one of them. Yeah, it's just one of those languages. I don't know how often I would use it. Oh, there it is. Yay.
I should send you my book actually. That will start you off on it. It's to teach Afrikaans.
Oh,
So
that's it.
that's something else that happened for me while during the last year. I authored and I published a book at the beginning of this year. So
That's awesome. Where do I find? Do I find it on Amazon?
yeah, but
Yeah,
I'll send you one. I can send you one.
no, don't do that. I'll buy one.
Uh, we'll see. I think that we can debate on that another time. Hello to you, Raven. Thank you for tuning in. Raven is my niece. She
Pronounce the name.
Raven, but
Oh, I see that. Yeah.
the name is I think it is a character because she loves Asian kind of
Hmm.
cartoons. So
Hmm.
she that's where it's from. And I'm like when I first saw it, I was like,
Yeah,
huh?
that's awesome.
Yeah. And she and my middle daughter are pretty close. They're the same age.
Which
So
is what?
14.
Wow. You've got a 14-year-old, so that's your middle. So your oldest is how old?
She's gonna be 20 next week.
Isn't it scary? I mean, when you really start thinking about it, my wife and I last night were sitting there and I said, you know what? It's almost I mean, it's going to be the 9th of September. And she said, why does time fly so fast? Is it because we're older? I mean, as you get older, I will tell you that the time goes
Yeah,
so much faster.
yes, it does. It does. I didn't grow up in North America where they have summers off for from school,
Hmm.
but my husband did, and he often says, like, "Oh my gosh, summer goes by so quickly now." But when he was a kid, it seemed like it was forever.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those, science is amazing. Yeah. Anyway.
Yes, it is. It is. Oh my gosh. I actually wanted to ask, have you changed the way that you do networking over the last year?
I'm going to say that I probably have. Um, so, well, I know that I have. Um, so I was and I've dialed back a little. When I first started, and you and I spoke about this, or we have spoken about in the past, is my version or my thoughts and beliefs were cast a very wide net. In the beginning, I was like, I'll connect with anybody, everybody. Um, cast a very wide net because the connection that could make the difference in your trajectory is could be 3 or 4 connections deep. It could be 5 connections deep. It may not me connecting with Gail today. Um, Gail and I may never do anything together that would benefit either one of us. But there might be somebody that she knows that they know that they know that we wind up doing some deal or getting involved or collaborating. There's that word on something that um, changes the world. Who knows? And so, I still do that to a certain extent. I just do it a little differently, but yeah, the answer is so me casting a wider net means that, especially when it comes to the podcast that you see in the background, we I do Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Um, yeah, exactly, and post daily on all. So it gets rather amazing. Um, it's hard to you can spread yourself too thin is what I'm trying to get to. I found out you can spread yourself too thin.
Yeah.
Thus, these people that say concentrate on one thing, um, and I do get something about that. What I tried to do is, instead of concentrating on one thing, I concentrate on one theme or one concept, the
Okay.
way that I look about something, and then I do that concept in everything that I do, which I guess then becomes my brand in a certain way.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, I have done networking a little differently. When it comes to my social media, and especially on LinkedIn, as I mentioned earlier, I'll start my day with a post that's my typical stuff, and then I'll mix in one from the Mac and Blue business page. I'll throw in just an audio clip from I'll do just several different things, um, because, as you know, video video is the algorithm with LinkedIn. It treats video differently than it does the printed word. Than
Yes.
you get into all that stuff. I don't even try to worry about any of that. People chase the algorithm. I really don't care. I see something. I will say this, that when you're posting and you notice that something changes, that you're not getting the reach that you got previously, but if you add a photo, it changes. There's just a little tweaks and things that you find. But yeah, I have changed the way that I do it. How about you? Have you changed the way you network?
Yes.
We do. We evolve, don't we? I mean, we
Yes.
you go from, and it's not so much about the followers and gaining all these followers. It becomes a much more focused approach on the type of follower, um,
Yes.
which I think is important.
Yes. I think I'm laughing because I actually, maybe about 3 weeks ago, I had a call with John Bigolino, and I turned my camera on before him. And he was like, "What? We're turning on our cameras." And I was laughing because previously, if you ask anybody at WBS Rocks how I used to come to that networking event, it would be, yeah, like camera off until it was my turn to speak, and then I would like turn my camera on for a few seconds and then turn it off again.
I forgot about that. I have not done anything with that in a long time. That's another one of the things that you and I got into all
Yes.
around kind of the same time.
Yes, actually, you introduced me to Sam. So I wanted to ask you. Actually, I'm looking at the image behind you of Mac and Blue.
Hmm.
So Mac is obviously you,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Um, and I noticed your attire during the interview.
Wow. I thought I was going to get by it. So this is a funny thing. If you can go, we have a YouTube channel, and you can also go to our YouTube channel, and see these. I don't do it every week, but what happened was, the very first podcast that my co-host JJ Levinsky was on was a Christmas, or around the Christmas season, and he wore one of those outlandish Christmas jackets. One of those just ugly, just ridiculous, gaudy jackets.
Yes.
And so in our exploratory meeting and discussion, I said we were talking about this jacket, and I said, you know what, it would be cool if we just because there was an NBA commentator, courtside commentator. Please forgive me, I do not remember his name, but he wore these very outlandish suits, and he passed away not long, a year or so ago from cancer.
Okay.
And we mentioned it, and we're like, hey, it'd be cool. Let's just wear some wild jackets. So I went all in on the first couple, which you will find, which you will see, and then we've kind of transformed into shirts. So um, I think it'll probably be because we're here in Arizona. It may be the wild shirts in the summer, and we might get back into the jackets in the winter. But yeah, it's been kind of fun
Yeah.
when I show my grandchildren. Um, they look at me really, really strange. I'll say, "Oh, hey, I got a new jacket. Let me show you." And I'll walk in there like, "You are not going to wear that on your podcast." Yeah, 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 I am. Um, so what's funny is having to walk through the parking lot from my vehicle to get to the studio when you're wearing something like that. Um, yeah, you get some stares, but yeah, it's just that's one of those things. And you know what? What it does is it puts our guest or guests
It is.
at ease.
Uh-huh.
They come in there like, oh, this isn't so serious after all. And then yet we go in and we start talking about what they do and we dig into it and the jackets, the clothes, the nothing never comes up again. But they are like, it puts them at ease. So it's kind of a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
So I'll touch on the Mac and Blue thing real quick. I was with Mac Prefab when we started the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Thus the term Mac. Um, well, when I changed employers, we discussed it and we said, you know what? It's Mac and Blue. Everybody knows that you're Mac and I'm Blue.
Yeah.
Who cares? So I'll call it, making Arizona construction, or I'll call it some other kind of thing. And we've just kept it as Mac and Blue. But yeah,
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
yeah.
I also like your shirt that you're wearing right now.
Oh yeah, this is one. Now I don't wear this often because it doesn't have a pocket. I like shirts with pockets, especially people that carry cell phones. But so I wear it occasionally, and got up this morning and I thought, oh, I've got a blue background which appears purple.
Yeah.
But I'll just go with the blue theme. But thank you.
You're welcome. So it's coming out to the top of the hour.
Sure.
We'll wrap up. I want to be cognizant of your time too. So let us just go to the comments and acknowledge a little bit more, and then we can wrap up. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I love when you do that, and then you can't put them up. You're like, oh, I can't read that. I can't say that.
Yeah, I've actually, hold on, let me tell you, I've learned that I need to read it first before I put it on my screen. Because some people,
Yeah.
let me say it like a Bayesian person would. Some people have no behavior.
Yeah, they have no filter. So yeah, it's just they type with no filter. I get it. That's the way they talk. No offense, but yet if you're going to read something out loud, you better read it. You better read it first because you could
Yes.
get scared.
Oh, actually, before I go to the comments, let me just touch on a subject that we often talk about, which is pitch slapping.
Oh my goodness, we don't have the time. We need to go another hour. I'm just telling you right now. Go ahead.
So, for those of you that are listening and don't know what pitch slapping means, it means when someone connects with you,
And
and
she's saying pitch.
yes, I'm saying
Okay.
pitch
Yeah.
slapping. When they connect with you and immediately in the DMs you get a pitch. That is what pitch slapping is. So the reason why I read comments before I display them on my screen is I was on vacation in South Africa and I was having a show just called just for like just a chill and chat show, right?
Sure.
So I didn't have a guest
Mhm.
and I was talking and I said they can ask me anything about LinkedIn. During this conversation, someone actually sent me wrote a comment and said, "Why do people connect with others if they don't want to build a relationship and have like and chat and talk to each other
Mm-hmm.
in the DMs?" And I didn't read it, and I just displayed it. And then he said, "Because you and I have been connected for almost a year and we've never had a conversation."
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't. I should have gone into my DMs and looked for his message,
Mm-hmm.
because I realized why.
Yeah.
It was because he pitch slapped me and he kept doing it. And instead of being rude and removing him completely as a connection, I left him there.
I do the same thing. I,
Yeah.
I, you know, oh my, you've touched on this thing. So there's that one. There is the hi. They send you a DM that just says hi. I'm
Yes.
like, really? I know what you want me to do. You want me to say hi, and then I'm going to get pitch slapped. It's like, it's just listen. And then there's people that are get at it. They're like, when you start talking about this, and that you're against it, the sales people just get furious. They're like,
Yeah.
well, it's a business platform. That's what it's for, is to do business. No, that
Oh,
is not what it's for. It's to build relationships. It's
yeah.
to network. If you speak to me 3 months, 4 months, we engage each other in our posts. We find out that we have similar likes, and I one day, it could be a week down the road, we could click immediately and know it and feel it through our communication. And you say, hey, we really seem to be on the same page here. I'd
Yeah.
love an opportunity to speak with you about what I do if you have some time.
Sure.
Boom. Now I can say, great, let's do it. Or, let's set up a time, or I really don't, we're not in the same. Anyway, yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah, but
And
yeah, you ought to read them before you put them up there.
yes, we do. And the whole purpose of LinkedIn is to be linked in. Hello.
It's to network. It's not just to connect with somebody and then bomb them with all of your Bitcoin
Yes.
project management. Oh, I don't,
Yeah.
whatever. I can't.
Yes.
Anyway,
So Laura says her dad was a band director on Indian reservations. Good times.
very interesting.
Katie says, "Oh my gosh, I hate fractions. I love math. I volunteer in the kids' math classes, and I really just love to learn."
My
Yes,
favorite thing about math is a calculator. Anyway, go ahead.
I'll tell you something. My dad is a mathematician. Like, so
Come
yeah,
on.
yes. So when I would be doing my homework and reach for the calculator, he'll take it away from me and he'd be like,
Oh my
"No,
goodness.
use your head." And I'm like, and I
Yeah.
learned to. I learned to. I had to, because he wouldn't give me the calculator until I wanted to check my work instead of count.
Okay. Well, then that was okay. Yeah, that's kind of lame. Yeah, would abuse it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here, Whitney says being a band teacher would be a lot. So much time outside of the school day and during the summer for marching band. Oh wow.
Did you play instruments? Were you in band at all?
I wasn't in a band, but I play guitar.
Mm.
Uh,
I played the snare drum in band. Now, the snare drum, you think about, yeah, this, like, they put all the dumb kids on a snare drum because it's just sticks and you beat stuff. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
that's funny. Gail says she wanted to be an actor, rock star, so now she performs on TikTok instead.
I've seen them, and that's I haven't been able to take that jump on TikTok yet. I know that's what TikTok is kind of for, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe one of these days.
Yeah. Gail does it really well.
Yeah, she is a performer,
Yes, she is.
natural performer.
Laura says collaboration is such a powerful word. It is indeed. Katie is saying collaboration nation. Okay. I see you, John. Thank you. I will find you. And wow, hello to you, Cindy. She says,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
She
Yeah,
said, Goedemiddag van Zuid-Afrika. Ik is in Kaapstad. So she's saying, good afternoon from South Africa. I'm in Cape Town.
yeah. See, I
That's
want I
because
want
this
to
is
do
what
that.
men.
I
Yeah.
could never. I look at that and I'm like, no, that's not real.
Oh my gosh, listen to this. John says he knows one South African word. Ubuntu. Oh my gosh. Um, let's see. And Laura says, great advice, Robin. Love the one theme approach and not chasing the algorithm.
Yeah, you got to get away from that. People spend all of their time chasing the algorithm and doing whatever they feel that the change is, and
Yes. And I'll let you in on a little secret. Somebody told me that the LinkedIn algorithm changes a couple of times a day.
yeah, exactly. No, it's
What
ridiculous.
should you do? Seriously,
Yeah,
no.
here you need to chase who you are and be who you are, and forget. Just let the chips fall. Yeah, you find
Yeah.
what works. Again, I'll do some posts that are just text, some posts that are text that have a picture, some posts that are text and have some video associated. Just mix it up. Who cares? Be
Yeah,
you.
just mix it up and don't pursue the vanity metrics.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yes. And Laura says relational networking
Mhm.
is about having meaningful conversations to build lasting relationships. It is a much more enjoyable approach. Yes.
Do you know that you and I are the perfect example of this? You and I just started regular and you know something else we haven't done during this is we haven't cried yet. But I'm not, yeah,
No.
that's something we always do.
Yes.
But that just is a perfect example of that is that we just
Yeah.
have you ever pitched me?
Nope.
I've never talked to you about business. We've never talked about what we really do other than just this discussion. And we are probably, I consider you like one of the best friends that I've never met.
Right?
I mean, we could meet each other in an airport accidentally and be like, we went to school together.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it, this is what networking's all about.
Yes.
And who knows what'll happen someday? We may do something great together. Who knows?
Yes.
That's what it's all about. I mean,
Yes.
you are going to teach me to speak what is it?
Afrikaans.
Afrikaans? Yes, yes.
Afrikaans. Yes.
Afrikaans. Yes. I'm going. See, I'm already learning.
I'll definitely teach you. Whitney says, same. It's good to have a focus that your connections know you for. Oh, yes, I love that. Katie says, that's when Inga says to the guest, you can read this one.
Yeah, I have heard her. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
So what are we gonna talk about that's going? Oh no, let's see.
you can read this one.
Oh my goodness. Yes, Gail says, LOL. Correlation with pitch slapping and online dating. Wow. Yeah. Some think that LinkedIn is an online dating platform. Yeah, I saw your eyes. I thankfully don't have to deal with this, but I see often ladies talking about the things that they get, and I can't imagine because I don't think that way. My
Yeah,
mind doesn't work that way. So when I hear that, I'm like, come on, people really aren't doing that, saying that. I, yeah, okay.
let me tell you the most outrageous thing I've heard. And like, people know I'm married. Like, I flash my ring all the time.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You know why? Another reason you act married.
Oh,
Okay, I don't know how that is, but you act married. I mean, you're a responsible person. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
the most outrageous thing I received a message from someone saying, because I posted about myself and my three daughters. I have three daughters, and
Hmm.
I posted about them, and speaking about my why. I believe that's what I
Hmm.
was talking about. And the person sent me a message and said, "Inga, you and your three daughters are mine." I was like, what? Goodbye.
I'd rather be pitch slapped, you know?
Well, me too.
Yeah. Wow. Any day.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
wow. That's just creepy.
very.
Yeah.
I reported him. I blocked him.
Mm.
I,
You know what?
yeah.
It just goes to show that um, y- people, we're on LinkedIn. I don't know how many. What is it? 600. I don't remember the number of people on LinkedIn. It's crazy, but
800 million people.
it takes all kinds.
Yes, it does. It takes all kinds to run this world, right? Wow, Katie, you played oboe. Wow.
Oh, that is a wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Whitney says she played the clarinet, but she really wanted to play the saxophone. Oh my gosh.
Oh, saxophone would be a cool one to play. So, instruments. I told you I'm not a very musical person. My wife is not a musical person. Um, but my children decided that for some crazy reason that they wanted to be musical people. So my daughters play piano, keyboards, organs. My son plays the drums, the bass, the picked up a saxophone. You know, we didn't have a living room growing up. I filled it with musical instruments. I had a piano on one wall, an organ on one wall, a drum set in the corner, a bass guitar, an electric
Wow.
guitar, saxophone, because when they would have friends over, they would go sit in there and
And jam.
that's it.
Wow.
And yeah, it was just that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, they've all wound up being musical people. And
Wow.
it's great for and it's so much about math.
Yes, I was actually just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much about math.
I had no idea, but when my girls were learning piano, they would come back and they would start spouting some formula and math. And I'm like, wait, that's math. You guys hate math. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, but we love this. So yeah, it's interesting stuff.
Well, that's how it manifested in them, eh? Crazy. Wow. Gail says, be who you are. That is when we all can show up in the best possible way in person and online. Yes. Like we said earlier, ain't nobody got time for that to show up
No.
differently than who you are. Wow. Um, so many wonderful insights. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. Just to wrap up, Robin, like where can anyone find you if they want to connect?
Of course, you can find me on LinkedIn. Robert Johnson is not a very common name, so if you type in Robert Johnson, there'll be only one that pops up. Um, I'm joking, obviously, but look for the bald headed guy. Um, Tory Contracting, that's me. You can find me. You can find me. You can get in touch with me through our podcast webpage, Mac and Blue, BLEU. Spell out the word and as well. So MACANDBLEU.com. Um, you can find Mac and Blue on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Um, I think I'm connected to some of these folks on some of these things, but yeah, you can get me at rjohnson at torycontractingllc.com if you want to message me, send me an email. Um, I don't know, but I keep going, but I need to figure out a way to make you cry before this is over.
No.
We need to, okay,
Is that correct? Is that correct? Your the website?
macandblue.com. That is absolutely correct. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Um, you are amazing, and I really do appreciate you having me back on. You reached out. I didn't realize it had been a year had gone by,
Yeah.
and that I was the first. I remember that. I'm very just very flattered. Uh, I see other people that you have on, and there's so much more in your lane, and so much more. And so I thought, why is she having this old geezer on again to talk about these things? But it's been a great conversation. You and I have spent over an hour. We could go on another 40, 50 minutes
Yes.
easy. It just has felt like no time has gone by whatsoever. You're a joy to talk to, a joy to know. Um, Kudos to you.
Thank you.
You've done a fantastic job. You've made this fire starter proud. You
Oh,
really have.
thank you. It's been such an amazing journey with you. You know, I always remember you, and yes, you're gonna make me cry.
Yeah, you know this though. I mean, we started off having those kinds of conversations. And you know this, and this is what I like about our relationship, and this is the important, this is really the cool stuff about networking. And I'll leave you with this. Um, you and I, you know that you could pick up your keyboard, you could text, you know that you could reach out to me anytime and talk about anything. There's a tons of people you could do this with, but we've never met each other face to face, but you could reach out to me anytime with anything in the world, and I would feel your heartbeat. You know that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I did it. I feel
Tell
so much better.
if Nathan's in a meeting, so he doesn't know that I'm crying right now.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah, and you're gonna get like, was he mean to you? Was that guy mean to you? No,
but
but you're amazing. This is really the fun part of networking. It really is.
it is for me too, and I will tell you that my middle name is actually Joy.
Yes, I did know that, as a matter of fact, and so yeah, it's very fitting.
Thank you, and thank you for for igniting this fire within me. Thank you for being my guest, and you know why I asked you back, because on September 3rd, 2021, when I had you as my guest, I promised you that I would have you
Yep,
as
yep, you did. I
for
do
the
remember you saying
year.
that.
Yes.
So
So
you keep your word too. That's a
yes,
good thing.
yes.
You still have tears running down your face. You need to stop. You're gonna make me cry. Anyway,
Oh my gosh! But thank you. It's
yeah.
been amazing to have you on. Oh wow! Somebody's asking a question, so let me ask you this before you go.
Please, please. I don't have anything else to do. It's fine. What?
What is the best way to pitch slap you, Robert?
No, so I think I even covered that. This is a great question because for people that don't like it, and I'm a sales guy, okay? I am 100% a sales guy. Um, the best pitch slap is not a pitch slap at all, okay? Um, again, I think the best way to do it is just you start y- get to know me. Let
Yeah.
me get to know you. Um, I don't know, it's ridiculous. But yeah, the best one is not one at all. Okay, the scripture that I was looking for earlier when I was talking about collaboration,
Yes.
Deuteronomy 32:30. How should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight? Collaboration. If one's going to do 1,000, two puts 10,000. That doesn't even double it. You are really going all in.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's be the two
Love
that
it.
puts the 10,000 to flight.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. It's been amazing. Always amazing to have you here.
Thank you.
Um, and I'll send you to the green room, and as I wrap up, and I'll be
Okay.
with you shortly. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. If you're still watching, always amazing to have a friend here with me in the studio. So, Robert was, if you're just catching the tail end of this conversation, go back and watch the rest. He always shares some amazing, amazing information. And it's just great to see how much we can grow over a year. It's about the journey, right? Not the destination. So we will always strive to continue to evolve and grow. That's the way forward. Otherwise, if you're not growing, you're dying. And Robert shared that quote in the first conversation that we had on September 3rd, 2021. So thank you, everyone. Know that I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you every Friday. So have an amazing Friday further. Be blessed, and I'll see you next week for another episode of Inspiration from Inga. Take care now. Bye bye.